Braelon, when you guys as a rushing attack don't have the game you want to, what's the discussion like when you watch film on Sunday? What are some of the things you found that you got to improve?
I think, I wouldn't say we were overall disappointed. Obviously, you like to put it in the end zone. You might have a couple ones that you wish would have went a little differently, but I think when you watch the film after a game like that, it's are you hitting the correct spots? Are you being consistent? Are you hitting what's there? Are you taking what they're giving you? Obviously there wasn't much, but are you consistently hitting the right spot and getting the yards that you should be getting on each play? And I think that we did that.
Quickly in a game, can you guys tell in the huddle if another team is saying, we're going to stack the line, you are not running the ball on us easily? Can you tell that right away, first series, or as the game goes on?
I think you kind of get the idea pretty early, but I felt as the game went on, I was running the ball. It was getting easier to run the ball, so I wouldn't say it's like, oh man, like they're shutting us down. It's not going to be a good game. I think a chunk of, I think my first and second half were pretty evenly split in terms of carries and yards. But I felt like towards the end of the game, I was running the ball a little better.
A couple of first downs that were called back. Just how difficult is that? What types of conversations, if any, do you have when in the moments of frustration?
Yeah, like you said, it's frustrating, but you just got to move on. I mean, it is what it is. Plays over, move on to the next one, try to repeat it. But some things that we have to clean up, especially the penalties. But I mean, you just got to tell the line. We need those. You can't have mistakes like that. So just lock in.
Yeah, they said he was pretty honest with the team just about Saturday in terms of energy, all that stuff, trying to make sure that you guys recognize what the standard is. What was your response, or just how did you kind of feel after he gave you guys that message?
I agreed completely with him. I felt I was just talking about it with one of the coaches, and I said it, kind of felt similar to the Minnesota game. Pre-game in the locker room, it was like real flat, not a lot of energy. Guys are obviously ready to play, but you didn't feel it. So I think that's something that we need to improve on. It that has to be consistent throughout the entire year, no matter who we're playing. Is having high energy before the game and throughout the whole game.
Leaders can only say so much to say, hey, look, you need to be ready. But does it come internally for every individual?
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. Everyone can try their best to get the team juiced up, but at the end of the day, if you're not feeling it that day, there's not much that someone can do for you. So you gotta find it within yourself to bring that out. And I think some guys struggle with that on Saturday.
Does that surprise you to even be having a conversation with that thought with us 2 weeks into the season? Because flat, you can tell it wasn't there.
I don't think. No, I would just say it's a learning experience, and I think that as a team we needed that. I feel like that game wasn't. Obviously, the game doesn't define our season at all. One game doesn't define us as a team, but I think it was good to have that early in the season. So now, for the rest of the year, we can attack every game the way that we should and the way we want to.
Just wondering, looking at the stats, I know it's early in the season, about 4 or 5 of the top 15 rushers in the country are from the Big Ten, yourself included. Why do you think year in, year out this conference produces the running backs it does, the quick running back guys?
I would just say, the style of football is a little different. It's more, obviously, a little more running involved in offenses compared to, like the Pac-12, the ACC, whatever conference, whatever other conference. I think we just run the ball more, and running backs want to come to school in the Big Ten so that they can run the ball. And I think that's my idea.
In fact, you were recruited for other positions, ended up being a running back early in your freshman year. What does that kind of speak? Does that kind of speak to what just the emphasis this conference places on running the ball, do you think? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like last year, I don't think running back really even been in the question if I was headed in that year. So I think that,
So you spoke after week 1 about being more decisive with your reads and your runs. Do you feel like you were able to do that in week 2, or is that something that's kind of a continual thing?
Yeah, I think, at the beginning of the game, first few carries, you kind of just try to feel it out, see how they're playing. And I felt like they were overrunning a lot of things everything was flowing super fast, and I was trying to be patient. And not much was opening up. So as the game went on, if I see this, I'm just gonna hit it. And it seemed to start working as we got further into the game. So it's just kind of feeling out process. More teams are definitely gonna, I think, play the same way. So it's just gonna be about hitting like I said before, taking what they give you. And other teams, you're gonna have to be more patient. Just their linebackers are gonna sit over the top rather than trying to fly over everything. So it's just kind of feeling out game by game.
Right. Consensus more flat in the locker room. One of the things that said that kind of upset him with that plan and stuff. Everybody was saying, did you feel like on the field at a certain point late in the game, sense that kind of enthusiasm?
Yeah, I think throughout the whole game it was kind of like that. I mean, in terms of jump around, I feel like if we're not winning the game, we probably shouldn't be jumping around. But I would say throughout the whole game, it was kind of, I can feel the team didn't have as much energy as we should. I think every play should be celebrated, and I don't think it was. Pick up 12 yards, everybody should be hyped, ready to play the next play. But like I said, we just got to learn from it and make sure that we're playing everything the same.
There also were a lot of penalties by the team Saturday. How tough a balancing act is that to try to make sure you're playing with more energy, playing with the edge you want, but also making sure you avoid some of those penalties?
Yeah, I think penalties come from being out of position, at least on the offensive line. I don't know how many holding calls we had, but some of them were bad calls if we're being honest. But other times, guys got to be moving and just get in the right position.
Is that deflating at all for the offense, where you rip off a 16-yard, 12-yard run and then it's brought back?
I wouldn't say it's deflating, but I mean it's disappointing. Like I said, it don't matter. You got to flush that out of your head and then move on to the next play and try to do the same thing.
You said last week too that these non-conference games are kind of you want to focus on yourself a little bit too. Are you trying to vet that process, or where you at in terms of just preparing for this week and just focusing on yourself?
I think it's every week you're really trying to focus on yourself. I mean, that's why you watch the film from the previous game to see what you can do better. So I think that kind of continues throughout the whole year. Obviously, the first few games it's a little more about that because you don't have as much film with the other team as you would like. So, but now as we're getting deeper into the season, it's kind of balancing it out. Just you watch every practice to critique yourself. But now it's more focusing on the opponent, I would say. But you still gotta have a good balance of critiquing yourself and preparing for the opponent.
Something bigger like that, not having the energy or not working smart. Do you feel like it's just not one-time thing, or are you worried at all that if it happened once, it could happen again?
No, I think it's a one-time thing because I would say myself and the other leaders of this team would be down to let something like that happen again. Something that we feel like I said, it's kind of come internally, but you can somewhat control it as a leader of the team. So, just bringing that fire and that energy into every play, every huddle, every time we're in the huddle, just getting on the line, getting on everybody who's in the huddle to make sure that they're locked in on that play and are doing their job to the best of their ability.
Why do you think that was? Why do you think the energy was lower on Saturday?
I'll tell you.
We saw replays and we also saw you on the sideline. You came back into the game, but what was ailing you? How are you feeling right now?
I feel fine. Obviously, just post-game soreness. Nothing too major. It just landed funny. Took the wind out of me a little bit, but all good.
I know you mentioned kind of emphasizing working on your pass game over the offseason. There was a play where you lined up on the outside. Is that just a new addition to the offense? Is it something you're doing more?
Yeah. I had a couple plays where I was lined up out wide, and I caught a pass out there. So I feel like the more we can get our running backs involved in the pass game, the more it'll help our offense.
When you were growing up, did you have any jerseys, players' names on the back?
Yeah, I had a couple. My favorite player, when I was really young, was Victor Cruz. That was second, third grade. I had his jersey, Jimmy Graham's jersey. I think those are the only two.
What would it mean to you to see a lot of people around here wearing your name on their back?
It's awesome. You know, a lot of guys have the shirts with my big head on it, the big bobblehead shirt. That's pretty cool. And the jersey as well. It's just awesome to see.
How'd you get Victor Cruz?
I was a Giants fan from a real young age. Just saw some pain. I was young. I liked touchdown dances, so
You do a touchdown dance now, you get flood names.
all right.
Braelon, it felt like Washington State was kind of keen on the run, especially on first down. Do you guys feel like you need to mix it up more on early downs and give yourself more of a...
Honestly, I'm cool running the ball every first down. I love running the ball every play. But, I mean, you got to do what you got to do to win games. But I think overall, we should probably keep running the ball first down. That'd be it.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.